Howdy folks, today is Friday, July 18th. The time right now is 1:07 p.m. and the temperature here in Picton, Ontario, Canada is about 23 degrees Celsius. And I'm here on what I think is the west end of Main Street. And for this one, I'll be heading east and we'll be going through the historic town of Picton. There's not a whole lot to see off in that direction. Just a few plazas. There's a supermarket, a Starbucks, and a Wendy's. And really things don't pick up until a few blocks to the east of here. But you gotta start these videos somewhere. So this is known as the King's Highway 33, as well as Loyalist Parkway, according to those signs. But the historic part of town is quite charming, and we'll get there soon enough. And there's a lot of really beautiful old houses in Picton. So this is the largest community in Prince Edward County. There's another really nice old home. I think the population is a little under 5,000 residents. And it's become a rather popular hotspot for people visiting from within the province as well as the nearby Quebec. And you'll see some of that appeal later on in this video. I'm staying at an Airbnb just around the corner from here. It's quite handy having that metro there. But it was hard to come up with a time when to record this video. Even though it's a popular place for people to visit, it's still a rather sleepy town. And most of the stores close between 4 and 5 p.m. And there's some restaurants and bars open. They don't seem to get busy until about 6 or 7. So you've got a big dead spot somewhere between 4 and 6. But even at its busiest, it hasn't been that busy, although I've only been here for a few weekdays. I'll be leaving tomorrow, so I won't get to see it on Saturday. That was kind of the idea, to avoid the crowds. It was easy to get to the beach and not have to line up for a parking spot. I think this place is out of business. I haven't seen them open. But what I'll do is I'll get off the main street for a few blocks and we'll see some of the really nice residential areas. And I'll come back to the main street. We'll walk through the heart of the town of Picton. And I'll head out towards the harbor. And as you can see, there's just a KFC, a McDonald's, and a gas station straight ahead, so we're not missing much. But there are some gorgeous homes this way. And this town was settled in the 1780s by United Empire Loyalists. It was originally divided into 2 villages. Hallowell was one, and I think Picton was the other, and they both incorporated into Picton in 1837, named after General Sir Thomas Picton. West Mary Street. This is the street the Airbnb I'm staying is on. Just around the corner to the right here. I might be doing a video highlighting that. Here is kind of an interesting bench. Why would it be oriented facing inwards? Just sit there and get a view of that house. Oh, there's some people out. Let's go on the other side of the street. We'll be seeing an old Edwardian theater, the Regent Theater, as well as the Armory. And this town's famous for being the first place where Sir John A. Macdonald, Canada's first Prime Minister, practiced law. He also played a role in World War II. There's a bombing and gunnery school here. And I've wandered around a number of these side streets, and my absolute favorite home is coming up just on the right. We'll see that in a moment. But most of these homes, at least the older looking ones, date back to the mid 1800s to early 1900s. And they're a mix of Victorian, Georgian, Italianate, and Queen Anne designs. And this one gets my vote for the nicest home in Picton. You really have to see it from the corner. That's a spectacular property. Almost something straight out of a movie. And there's a trio of older nice homes just across the street. This blue one, this one here in the corner, and a nice stone home beside it. But there's my favorite home from this angle. So this will lead us back to the main street. I should add, this is my first time in Picton, so I'm by no means an expert. Certainly there's more informative videos about this town online. Sounds like some kind of school playground over there. If you're wondering what there is to do in this area other than the main street, well, there's Sandbanks Provincial Park with what's one of the two most popular beaches, along with Wasaga Beach in the province. That would be Outlet Beach at Sandbanks Provincial Park. It's only about a 15 to 20 minute drive from here. I did a walk through there. Do book your parking in advance if you're not going when it's not so busy like this week, but at a busy time you definitely want to have that parking pass in advance. There's also a lot of wineries. And breweries and places like that you can check out. In fact, I went to the beach on my first full day here 2 days ago. And yesterday I went to a number of wineries and a brewery. And today, after this video, I'll be having lunch and going to what's called Lake on the Mountain. And the other nearby towns, Wellington and Bloomfield, are a bit smaller than this. This is a monument to those who fought in the Great War, 1914 to 1919. From the three towns. So I started just over there. That's the stretch of Main Street we skipped. This five-way intersection is kind of annoying. So this is what I would say is the start of the good part of Main Street, and we'll walk by some restaurants I've had the chance to go to. And here's a place I think I'm going to try tonight, 555 Brewing Company. Got a nice patio. There's a number of people there for lunch. I imagine the scene tomorrow will be a little bit busier. And I know we just got to the main street. And I'm gonna pop out a block in that direction. Because I wanted to check out what's around the corner here. I haven't wandered this way before. On Chapel Street, there's what looks to be a very beautiful old church. Apparently, this current stone iteration of the church was built in 1898, and it replaced a wood frame church that was built in 1820. That was later modified to a stone church in 1854. The Picton United Church. It's a rather beautiful property. It's a dental clinic. I mentioned this in a live stream yesterday, but it's worth noting mobile internet here is pretty ass. There's barely any download or upload speed. It's enough to check Google Maps or look basic things up, but certainly not fast enough to live stream on either Rogers Bell. I also tested out the Kudo, which I think uses the Telus network speed. I think that's an old vintage shop. And look at this property. Yeah, that's Mary Street Vintage. But we're gonna head up to Main Street. I'll be sticking to Main Street for the most part from here on out. I've heard some of the locals aren't too happy with the recent influx of tourists. A lot of the local establishments have become considerably more expensive. Housing has become more expensive. A lot of homeowners are turning to Airbnb with their properties. The one I'm staying at, the basement, has been furnished as an Airbnb, but it's a rather excellent property. But you definitely have to feel for those getting priced out. There's a dollar store. And I hope nothing nice was lost to make way for this gas station. It's certainly unsightly. There's the Beau Bistro. They weren't open for dinner a few nights ago, but they were open last night, which was Thursday. Wednesday they weren't. And I went to this place for breakfast 2 days ago. The Vic Social. It's one of the more popular patios here. I think I had a classic breakfast. It was okay. Service was great though. I sat in this part of the patio. Whoops, I did not mean to spin the camera around there. And this part is pretty, or this pub is pretty great, the Acoustic Grill. There's live music there, I think Tuesdays through Saturdays. They make an excellent burger. They've got a patio. It's pretty nice inside. I've been there twice so far, once for drinks after dinner and once for dinner where I had a burger. There's a Korean restaurant in that building. There's a Pilates studio. The bean counter, I might pick up some beans from here. And there's an Italian restaurant, and you can enter the Korean restaurant just to the right. And it looks like there might be a lake or something off in the distance, but it's just a big park. There's a giant tiger. Flower shop. Another cafe. Cannabis shop. Come say hi. I guess the closest thing to this in Toronto would be Unionville in Markham. There's a yarn shop over there, jewelry. few other spots.
How are ya? Good. You? Going back to work, are ya? Yeah.
It goes by so fast.
Doesn't it? You too.
And this place is the Armory. And that was built in 1913, and it served as the home of the 16th Prince Edward Regiment. And during both World Wars, it was a recruitment depot, drill hall, as well as training base. Hey, look, a public library. You can pause the video here if you want to read what this plaque says. It's a gorgeous old library. Musical instrument lending library. And that dates back to 1906. Oh, and we've reached the Regent Theater. Get another look at the library. This dates back to 1918. You'll see Superman there. It's across the street, just beep boop the button. And hope you don't get run over. I just want to give you a view of the theater from across the street. It's a rather beautiful old structure. Opening weekend, Superman, July 11th through 24th. All right, we'll cross back. That kid was pressing the button. And here's the local institution. Although the original was in Bloomfield, which I drove by the other day. I had it last night. I think they call it Campfire, their specialty ice cream. My friend had that. I just had a chocolate fudge. And my verdict was it was good. And there's a number of small hotels in the area, but I think this is the bougiest, the Royal. That recently was completely redone. And there's a really nice restaurant in the main floor with a really nice patio in the back. And that is where I ate Tuesday night. I had a pizza and the best damn steak frites I've ever had. So if you're in the area, I highly recommend the Royal. And last night I went to this place, Bocado, and had some Spanish tapas. It was quite good. Not really a foodie, so I couldn't tell you too much about that stuff. The County Club, full service health club. Seafood restaurant. Insurance and financial. So we're getting to the end of, I guess, the main stretch on Main Street. City Revival, Hank's Lonesome, Pizza and Tavern. And we come across a fork in the road. I think I want to go right here. And we'll loop back up to where the armory is, but the old town hall is just over to the left. So we'll briefly check that out. The Talking Donkey Bistro. Guess it's a case of good luck, pedestrians. Don't get killed. I'll just hightail it. Imperial submarine sandwich. So there's a harbor nestled in over to the right. I'm not sure how you access it on foot. We're about to get a look at a heritage building, Shrine Hall, built in 1874. Castle Villeneuve was built by James Cummings in the early 19th century. Riccarton Castle. Here's Shire Hall. The mayor's in. County Registry Office, built 1871, and the Shire Building built 1874. Maybe this is the registry office. Indeed it is. Church. I think there's a restaurant called the Lighthouse around the corner. There's a really neat residential street, which I want to take, which will lead us back up to the other side of the armory. I just want to see quickly if any of these places are very near here. Riccarton Castle. No, that one is a ways off. Castle Villeneuve. Move. That doesn't appear to be anywhere around here. Oh well, if they were a stone's throw from here, it might be worth checking out. That's about as busy as it's been all week in terms of foot traffic. It is a Friday. I imagine a lot of people will be coming into town today and tomorrow and going back Sunday. Really 2-3 days is all one probably needs here. There's a harbor nestled in here to the left that connects to Lake Ontario. I don't think there's a good vantage point you can walk to. There's the street I wanted to take, East Mary. I think the original courthouse where Sir John A. Macdonald first practiced is over on this side of town. I'm just curious if we can get a view of the water. They obviously weren't trying to blend in with the local architecture when they built that thing. Men love law. This is a cute little inn. Guy had a Virginia license plate. You'll notice a lot of people from Quebec. Staying in Picton. Huzzah! A view of the harbor. How nice and quaint is this? The most major town to here is Belleville, just a little bit north of here. You can see on that sign, West 33 to Bloomfield, hang a left, head up to the 401, and then go east towards Kingston, as well as Ottawa and Montreal, or you could go west towards Toronto. Got a sign in their door. Let's check out East Mary Street. A lot of people have these dishes. I don't think the telecommunications infrastructure is very good. Our Airbnb host said they got the fastest internet plan available. And it is not very fast. It goes like 20 down, 5 or 6 up if you're lucky. Which might spoil your plans if you're looking to work from home and just move out to an area like this. If you need to move a lot of data around, you'll have no luck getting a fiber connection or anything like that. For sale, Chestnut Park, number 9 East Mary. There's a quote-unquote mobility scooter. That works well in a town like this. That seems a little out of place. What's right across the street? So we should get a pretty neat view of the armory right around the corner from here. Oh. I mentioned there was a big park earlier just off in the distance. Well, there it is. The armory, private property. Unauthorized vehicles will be towed at owner's expense. It's a beautiful building. I wonder if I can cut through it. Number of businesses in here. Luso Bites. Looks like it's more of a cafe. See if I can navigate my way. Oh, that's a gym. The Department of Illumination. Not so tidy from the looks of it. I want to get up there. No can do. I must be missing something. I'm sure there's a way through there. I just am a dummy and missed it. Yeah, especially if you can get to that Luso Bites place. Oh, this isn't gonna open. Just sweet. Idiot. Oh well. Is that worth trying to slip through? Look at that home across the street. I'm sure there's someone who knows the area and the armory well face palming right now. Going, you moron. Because obviously you can cut through there. How else do you go to that Luso Bites cafe from the main street? Well, if we go right here, we should see that Korean and Italian restaurant just on the left. There's that chapel we went by earlier. So let's just mosey on back over to the main street. And I hope you enjoyed this one. Do let me know your thoughts and comments down below if you wish to support what I do on YouTube. There's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. That's a little weird. There's a standalone Dippin' Dots. It's like a stand you used to see at a Six Flags. And let me know your thoughts on Picton, especially if you've been here in the beautiful Prince Edward County. Again, just about 2.5 hours from Toronto in decent traffic. All right, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Yoink.